The Funeral Parlor's Reversal of the Soul. Chapter 1, Broken and Reborn. Yamuking once thought that her life was the daughter who was arranged by the family and was as bright as a greenhouse flower. She was born in a wealthy Ya family and enjoyed the days when the stars held the moon, until that night, a silent conspiracy pulled her into darkness like a ghost. She died inexplicably. The hospital said it was an accident, but she knew in her heart that it was a ruse to be taken away and replace the real daughter. When she wakes up again, she is already in a completely strange world. She has become a little girl in a remote branch of the Ya family, living a simple life, and her parents run a dilapidated funeral parlor called Pure Land Funeral. Her name is still Yamuking, but in this life, she is no longer the daughter, but a fake daughter abandoned by fate. Is this what happened to me? Yamuking's eyes were red, but she secretly swore in her heart, this time, she will never be at the mercy of others again. Chapter 2, The Secret of the Funeral Hall. The Pure Land Funeral is a place that outsiders avoid. It sits on the edge of the city, with moss-covered facades of old buildings and the smell of cold candles and sawdust. Yamuking helps here every day. In addition to sweeping the floor, she also deals with various funeral details. She soon discovers that this is not just a funeral parlor, but also a mysterious secret. The first secret is the mortuary in the funeral parlor, a mysterious woman known as Red Flame. Chi Yan always wears a crimson cheongsam, and her paintings make the deceased's face stand still in the coffin for days without decaying. When Yamuking was inadvertently following Chi Yan, she witnessed her whispering to a corpse in the middle of the night, and her eyes actually flashed with a faint blue light. The second secret is the retired ghost Commander Chin. He has left his official position in the underworld, but he still guards the peace of the funeral home. Whenever the coffin lid was closed, he would subconsciously pull out an ancient chain of soul locks, which was said to lock the souls of the dead and prevent them from getting lost in the world. Mu-ching, don't be afraid, they don't mean to harm you. Mother whispered. Chapter 3, The Female Ghost in Red and the Soul Chain. Yamuking is becoming more and more integrated into this mysterious world. Xian began to teach her the skills of burial, and also revealed to her that many of the dead in the funeral parlor were not ordinary people, but beings haunted by unjust spirits. One night, Chi Yan took her to the basement of the funeral home, where the secret room was filled with photos of the deceased. Behind these photos, there are heartbreaking stories. Every life deserves to be respected, and dying does not mean the end. Red Flame whispered. At this moment, a biting cold wind struck, and the female ghost in red appeared, her face as ruddy as blood, and her eyes were cold and desperate. She's... Yamuking looked at it in horror. Chi Yan's expression was solemn. This is the female ghost in red. She was a member of the funeral parlor before her death. The cause of death is unknown, and her soul cannot rest in peace. Commander Chin walked out of the shadows and took out the soul chain, wanting to seal her. The red-clothed female ghost suddenly laughed, and her voice was like ice cracking. You can't lock me, I am Allah in this funeral home. Yamuking's heart sank suddenly. All these secrets actually involved a more complex family conspiracy. Chapter 4, The Fate of True and False Daughters. Yamuking checked the old family files and was shocked to find that the death of her previous life was inextricably linked to the real daughter. The real daughter Yamulai has always lived in power and luxury, but she has never shown the slightest pity for this fake daughter. What's even more amazing is that the female ghost in red is the resentful ghost left by Yamulai's biological mother. She died in a bloody coup, and her soul is unwilling to leave in order to avenge her daughter. Yamuking understands that if she wants to reverse her fate, she must crack the family's secrets, let the female ghost in red rest in peace, and make herself truly free. Chapter 5, The Salvation of the Soul. Yamuking decided to take a risk and fight against the unjust souls side by side with Xian and Commander Chin. She used the Undertaker's technique to reshape the face of the female ghost in red, so that she could see her true appearance before leaving. Commander Chin sealed those violent resentful spirits with soul chains to prevent them from continuing to cause chaos. Yamulai's conspiracy was gradually exposed, and Yamuking exposed the corruption and darkness within the family as a fake daughter. In the end, Yamulai was forced to leave the Ya family, and Yamuking became the key person who really controlled the fate of the family. underscore 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 un. Chapter 6, A New Beginning. The funeral parlor is no longer just a cold place, but a pure land for people to learn to face life and death. Yemuking stood at the door of the funeral home, looking at the bright moon in the night, and her heart felt unprecedented peace. In this life, I want to live a better life than anyone else, she said with a smile. And Qi Yan and Commander Qin are still silently guarding this mysterious space, waiting for the next soul that needs to be saved. Chapter 7, The Covenant of the Medium. Yemuking's funeral parlor's reputation gradually spread in the town, not only because of her and Qian's exquisite burial techniques, but also because of the sense of stability brought by Commander Qin's soul chain. One night, a woman in a white robe with a cold temperament came to the funeral home. She describes herself as a psychic medium named Blue Moon, and she says that she can talk to the undead and help them fulfill their unfulfilled wishes. I've heard that your funeral parlor not only allows people to complete their last journey, but also truly redeems souls. Blue Moon's voice was as cold as moonlight, but with an indescribable charm. Yemuking was skeptical of her intentions, but she knew in her heart that this was a rare opportunity for cooperation. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 8, The Request of the Undead. Lan Yu took Yemuking and Qi Yan to an ancient well in the backyard of the funeral home. This well is a gateway to another world. Blue Moon whispered, many souls are lost there, unable to return or to rest in peace. Suddenly, a cool breeze swept by, and a blurry image of a woman appeared by the well. She cried and turned to Yemuking for help, please help me find my daughter, my love. This soul's plea touched Yemuking's heart, and she decided to follow Blue Moon and step into that unknown realm. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9, The Soul Realm is Lost. Yemuking, Qi Yan, and Blue Moon entered the ancient well and entered the Soul Realm, another world where forgotten souls gathered. The sky here is dark, foggy, and full of soul cries and roars. The trio must carefully avoid the attack of evil spirits. On the way, they meet a young soul named Molly. He claimed to be an innocent man who had died unjustly and longed to clear his name. Yemuking felt his sincerity and decided to help him. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10, The Truth of the Fog. Yemuking gradually uncovered the secret behind Molly's death through Red Flame's burial technique and Blue Moon's psychic ability. Molly was originally the son of a wealthy businessman, but was framed to death because of a family feud, and his soul was trapped in the soul world and could not be reborn. At the same time, Yemuking discovered that the female ghost in red was also inextricably linked to Molly's fate. The cause of her death was directly related to the family conspiracy. These truths, like bombshells, are ready to shake the foundations of the entire family. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 11, The Fate of Reversal. In the Soul Realm, Yemuking and the three of them were attacked by dark forces from the underworld, which tried to prevent them from revealing the truth. Commander Qin summoned the soul chain from the funeral parlor and engaged in a fierce battle. Red Flame uses the mysterious power she has accumulated during her burial to draw a spell to protect everyone. At the critical moment, Yemuking suddenly discovered that there was a strange ability hidden in his body. He could communicate with the undead and even temporarily control the body of the deceased. She finally understands that this power is what fate has given her, making her a bridge between the two worlds of life and death. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 12, The Trial of the Family. With the evidence of the soul world, Yemuking returned to the real world and exposed the dark deeds within the Ye family. Yemulai's father, Ye Chenhao, the head of the Ye family, finally couldn't hide his crime, and the family fell into turmoil. Yemulai faced her sister's perseverance and the truth, and gradually collapsed, and her power empire began to collapse. Yemuking, as a fake daughter, won the respect of the family in the outside world, and began to take the lead in changing the fate of the family. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 13, The Reconciliation of the Soul. In the special ceremony held at the funeral home, Yamuking led Qi Yan, Commander Qin, Lan Yu, and the saved Mo Li to help all the unjust souls find their way to rest. The resentful spirit of the red-clothed female ghost was also released during the ritual and turned into the brightest star in the night sky. Yamuking finally released the shackles of the past and accepted her new life. Chapter 14, A New Chapter of Fate. The Pure Land funeral is no longer a gloomy place, but a spiritual shelter for many lost souls and the living. With her unique strength, Yamuking has become the guardian of the two worlds of life and death. She understands that the road may be difficult, but it is full of hope. Whether I live or die, I will protect this pure land. She looked into the depths of the funeral parlor with a determined light in her eyes. Chapter 15, The New Mysterio. Just when Yamuking thought that everything would eventually calm down, a man wearing a black windbreaker and silver-rimmed glasses appeared at the door of the funeral home. His name was Luo Heng, and his voice was low, with an unconsciously convincing sense of majesty. I've heard that I have access to the undead here, and I have something important to ask for. Luo Heng said. Yamuking instinctively felt that he was not simple. Luo Heng told her that he was a soul appraiser, specializing in identifying the true identity of the undead and the secrets behind them. This time, he brings an extremely dangerous soul case. Chapter 16, The Book of the Netherworld. Luo Heng took out a yellowed book from the inside of his trench coat, called the Book of the Netherworld. The book contains many forgotten rules and taboos of the underworld, as well as unsolved mysteries. Recently, there has been a movement in the underworld, and there is a force trying to break the line between life and death, which will bring unprecedented disasters. Luo Heng said with a solemn expression. Yamuking understands that her fate is no longer just a family grievance, but an implication in the balance of the entire life and death worlds. Chapter 17, Broken Memory. Yamuking began to receive training from Luo Heng, learning the skills of identifying the undead and cracking the soul curse. At the same time, she discovers that some fragments of her memories have been deliberately erased, hiding truths that have not been revealed in the past. One day, she dreamed of a young man dressed in white, and the young man called her name in a voice with a familiar and unfamiliar temperature. After waking up, Yamuking decided to look for this young man, thinking that he might be the unsolved mystery of his past. Chapter 18, The Shadow of a Teenager. Yamuking and Luo Heng searched for clues in the dark corners of the city, and finally found the teenager in an abandoned church. His name is Bai Zi, and he has a pair of crystal-clear silver eyes. Bai Zi said that he was a guardian chosen by the underworld to guard the balance of life and death, but due to a failed mission, he was deprived of his memory by the underworld and lived in the world. The fates of Bai Zi and Yamuking seemed to be closely linked, and the two looked at each other, as if they had recovered half of each other's missing souls. Chapter 19, The Border Between Life and Death. As the secrets of the Book of the Nether are gradually revealed, Yamuking and Luo Heng discover that there is a powerful rebel lurking in the underworld, and their goal is to break the boundary between life and death, so that the undead can be resurrected to control the world. The rebels' actions intensified, and there were a series of bizarre deaths in the city, and the souls of the dead could not rest in peace, turning into terrifying spirits. Yamuking and Bai Zi shouldered the mission of stopping the disaster, and they shuttled between the two worlds of life and death, and experienced the test of life and death. Chapter 20, The Final Judgment. Yamuking led Qi Yan, Commander Qin, Lan Yu, Luo Heng, and Bai Zi to form a guardian team and fight against the Soul Rebel. In the depths of the underworld, they face a thrilling life and death showdown. The Soul Rebel is Yamulai's long-lost twin brother Yazayu, who fell into darkness due to jealousy and anger, and tried to use the power of the undead to subvert the order of the world. Yamuking used her soul power to talk to him, touching the long-sealed brother-sister friendship in his heart. Finally, Yazayu let go of his hatred, his soul was able to rest in peace, and the boundary between life and death returned to balance. underscore 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 un. Chapter 21, The Pure Land of New Life. After the war, Yamuking returned to the funeral home with the guard team. The funeral home has become a true refuge for the soul, no longer terrifying, but full of warmth and hope. The relationship between Yamuking and Baizi gradually deepened, and the two guarded life and death side by side, becoming each other's most solid support. She finally understands that fate will not be rewritten because of a rebirth, but because of choice and courage, a new life has truly been achieved. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 22, The Gift of Life. Yamuking stood on the balcony of the funeral home, looking at the morning light in the distance. Life has a beginning and an end, and every goodbye is another beginning. Her words are like the wind, gently drifting into people's hearts and becoming a force to face life and death. The story comes to an end here, but Yamuking's protection will never stop.